Welcome back on my channel. Today I would like to cover the topic that I was personally very interested in. It's related to my Garmin Fenix 8 watch that I'm dating for the last 3 months or so. And one of the most interesting features to me when I bought this watch was the body battery estimation. This feature actually allows you to provide some insight, some information about your resources that exist in your body to be able to better track your habits and better to understand what exactly you're doing during the day and how it impacts your battery life. So when I just bought the watch and put on my wrist, I started to keep in track this metric because it was in my main screen on my watch. And during the first 2 weeks when I watched this, I started to notice that it's usually very often it's off. By off I mean this is very subjective, but this review is subjective in general, and just sharing my personal experience with you, what I personally feel about these features and about this feature particularly. And so I noticed that I don't feel the same way as Garmin estimates to me. When, for example, it shows like I have, for example, 9% of battery left, but I did feel myself, I have enough energy, at least it seems to me like this. Or when it says that, for example, in the morning I have like 100% of my body battery, but I just feel myself very exhausted without no energy, like it was very hard. And at first I thought that, maybe they just need some time to, used to start to read more metrics about my day-to-day activity, and then they will estimate all these results more precisely. And that's why I decided to wait for a month or something like this and not judge right away and see the results after this period of time. So this was exactly what I did, and to be honest, I didn't saw too much improvements. I still did feel that it's something off here. And that's why I decided that it was very interesting for me to understand this feature. And when I tried to look for the information online, there is just some brochures, I would say. It's very abstract, very general information, and I didn't understand how it works for other people. And the purpose of the video today is that today I would like to share with you my personal experience of the feature. Did I found this useful or not, and what you can expect from this feature, like in general. And to do so, I did experiments. I'm looking here because I have my laptop with graphs that I will explain you later. So what I did, it's during 15 days, every morning and every evening at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. I recorded to my notebook, I recorded how I feel myself. It's very subjective and it's clear, but for me personally, I understand this feature that for some reason, if I can't understand how much energy my body has, I can rely on this feature on a watch to see whether I can do some hard exercises today, or better is to have day off from exercises and etc. So I just wanted to understand the main purpose of the feature, and it was very important for me when I did put my personal internal feelings, not to watch what Garmin says about this. So it was very simple. Every time in the morning, for example, I asked myself, how do I feel myself from 1 to 10? And I put this number in my table. Whereas, for example, if I feel myself on 8, then it means that I would put 80% body battery that would Garmin estimate for me. Same I do every day in the evening. And I did this during the next 15 days. I put into the table, and every next day I return back to the statistics in the Garmin battery, in the Garmin Connect, to see what actually Garmin said about this data in the specific date. As I mentioned, because I don't want to spoil my own feelings based on the data that Garmin provides. So it was extremely important for me to have no clue what exactly Garmin thinks about my body battery before I put in all this number into the table. So in the end, after these 15 weeks, I have pretty much a lot of data, and it was very interesting to see, and that's why I'm going to show it to you right now. So this is the first chart. This is a chart that shows how much energy I spent during each day, where blue line represents numbers that I personally put myself in the table, and red line is the numbers that was provided by Garmin. The basic idea that if these lines in the perfect world, if my personal feelings align with Garmin's, it should be just one line. And the closer lines to each other, then it means that both my feelings and Garmin estimations closer to each other. And this is the days, for example, you see this very huge difference. For example, in July 22, I had a very tough gym exercise, and we can see that there is a huge difference between estimations of Garmin and mine, my personal. July 25, I didn't have anything. It was a regular day. July 27, I again had gym with very hard exercises. And later these days I did just some running. Yeah, so you can see there is a difference quite a lot. For example, in July 23, based on my feelings, I spent like 30% of my battery during the day. Garmin estimated that I spent 70%, so the huge difference. Yeah, so it doesn't really, it's in the end of the graph you can see that it seems like it started to be more close to each other, but I don't think that it's something that we can rely on. Moving to the next graphic, where I did actually, in the top you see the readings that was in the start of the day, let's say it's 9 a.m. and in the bottom it's 9 p.m. And again, blue line, it's estimation of how I felt myself personally, and red line, it represents how Garmin sees my numbers. And again, what I was what's one of the main issue for me, that very often Garmin does not understand my starting point of body energy in the morning. So usually it's very often shows to me I have 100% of the battery, but I did had like bad sleep. And again, I'm using the Garmin to track my sleep, of course. It's put on my wrist pretty tough, so I can say that there is very minor movements during the night, so it should read all the data very precisely from the watch, from my wrist. So I can expect that its maximum, of course, probably I can try to put it much more harder on my wrist until the point that it will be uncomfortable to wear. But we actually going to wear this 24 hours, 7 days per week, so it should be comfortable. And again, as you can see, this is pretty tight, so it's not like bubbling on my wrist all the time. So back to the chart itself, again, as you can see, they are pretty close. I won't say that there's too much difference, but there is definitely some days, for example, again, as July 27, July 23, when my feelings and readings was very off comparing to what Garmin says. And the main point of this feature is that it's all about all these technologies. because marketing and advertisement shows like this is a feature that will help you a lot. And I very interested to know about you guys. If someone who is watching the video also uses Garmin and uses this feature called body battery, what do you think about this? Do you found it really useful? Because the main purpose of this feature is to help you to understand what's the battery level you have on your tank. And I don't rely on it at all. So for me personally, it doesn't work at all. It shows some, I can say, random numbers, because if we would like to rely on this feature and understand whether we can go and hit gym today or not, usually it's just enough for you to try to feel yourself. If you feel yourself that I quite not have enough energy to have a gym today, then if the watch says that, hey, you know, everything is fine, you have still 80% of your battery, it's probably to trust yourself and not the Garmin watch. So the point of this video was, if you're looking for the watch and you're interested about this body battery feature, and it's the point whether you decide go with a watch that has this feature or not, I can say from my personal experience and my personal subjective perspective, I would put like 2 out of 5 points to this feature. I found it completely useless for me. And again, very interesting to know guys who wear the watch and use it day to day. Very interesting to know, is it same for you or not? And maybe it just I'm wrong, so who knows. Thank you for watching. It's very interesting experience for me because I decided that in our world, for now in YouTube, there is too much production, too much very high quality videos, and with this AI, it's very hard to find the person that you can trust. It's become very advertisement related and so on. I for sure will create a dedicated video on the channel, explain my goal with this channel and what you're going to expect to see here. But yeah, I think that personally I would like to stick to this solution where there is no cuts. It's more or less live. I'm just sitting, turning on the camera, putting my microphone, have some notes in my notebook that I would like to talk. There is also a PC laptop in front of me with some data, which is digital, that I will represent you later on this video line. So let me know in the comments whether you like this live real format or not, or you would prefer something more scripted, more production with some cuts, music, fancy effects and so on in the background. Yeah, so thanks and wish you have a great day.